GM. Hello, James. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Power Hour number 9, which is all about how you can use AI to help you trade smarter in the crypto space. Hopefully today we are going to find some very interesting alpha, run you through a number of our AI related features, and hopefully we will all level up on the AI front to help grow our portfolios over the remainder of the market cycle. But hello, James. Great to have you here. How are
Hello,
things with
sir.
you? I know
All
you're an
good.
AI wizard yourself, James, but maybe you can share a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I guess I'm definitely someone that likes to explore a lot of the latest AI tools. But Nansen is definitely somewhere that has made that possible for me. We're really putting AI first. And what do I do myself at Nansen? I'm a community manager for Nansen Alpha. And then on top of that, I take care of a lot of professional product training. So I just make sure our professional users know how to use the platform and see the latest releases, which lately we've been quite focused on a lot of the AI features. So hopefully today I'll be able to impart some of my learning with the professional users with you guys here today.
Nice. Awesome. Very excited to see what we're going to be sharing today. For some background on me, I lead growth here at Nansen, working with investors. I've been in the crypto space since about 2016, investing heavily, but just really had like quite a consistent strategy over the last few years. However, with the birth of AI and the sort of merge between AI and crypto, it's changed everything for me. So I'm excited to be able to share some of those new approaches and strategies with all of you today. So I'm going to share my screen and start running through a number of things. So firstly, for those of you that might actually not be familiar with Nansen, Nansen is an on-chain analytics solution that helps people to make more money, is really the crux of it. Our website is nansen.ai, so you would expect us to have a number of AI related features, and that's really where we're going to be spending our time today. So my screen should pop up in any moment. It's just taking a little second, but while it's loading, there we go. You'll notice that James and I are both wearing our jerseys zipped up today. This is definitely intentional. It's our lucky charm. But anyway, as you can see, Nansen, we help people to surface the signal and to become smart money. So we have a number of AI features which we'll be looking at today. So this here is the Nansen platform, just to give you a little bit more background as to exactly what we do. So we help people to discover new opportunities on chain, to perform due diligence, and also to help defend their portfolios as well. We have a number of different features that allow our users and investors to unlock the discovering opportunities, performing due diligence, and defense. But really, it's the wallet labels that Nansen doubles down on the most. That is what we are known for. We have 350 million wallets labeled across a whole bunch of different chains, including EVM chains and non-EVM chains. And you can use Nansen to know who is doing what on chain. We also have pioneered the concept of smart money within crypto. So of those 350 million addresses that Nansen has labeled, the most profitable 5,000 of them are assigned this little nerd emoji, the little smart money emoji here. So it's really the cream of the crop, the 1% of the 1%. And a lot of users engage with Nansen by following smart money to help inform their investment decisions. So we have a Luma link today as well, and a small giveaway, which is very exciting, which is going to give you free access to a number of the AI features that we're going to cover. All you have to do is come here, click on register. It'll ask you to leave your Telegram handle, and you'll go into the draw to win one 3-month professional plan, which is worth several $1,000s, and also includes the API and MCP access, which we covered in the last webinar. Also, you can scan the little QR code that will display in the top corner to get 10% off any paid plan on Nansen. So that includes the Pioneer and the Professional plan, and also the monthly, 6-monthly, or 12-monthly options. If you also leave your Telegram in here, we're actually going to send you a number of prompts, up to 5 different prompts that you can use in our research agent, which is going to help you to find a lot of this alpha on chain. So James and I have a number of examples that we would love to share with you today. But if you leave your Telegram in here, it's going to give you a head start, and hopefully you can win in the markets sooner than anyone else. Just back to Nansen quickly. For those of you that are participating in the points program, or for those of you that are not familiar with the points program, one, you are missing out if you are not participating in this. We are currently in season 1. We're still cooking. We're still just getting started. We have the launch of season 2 coming in just over a month. It is critical, very, very critical, that you come into here and you activate your Nansen points. If you do not click on the green activate button, you will lose your points going into the next season. So I'm giving all of you a bit of homework to make sure that you activate your points now or after this call, which is going to translate into a whole bunch of really, really interesting rewards. So today, James and I, like I mentioned, are going to cover a number of our AI related features, like our AI signals, our smart alerts, the Nansen agent. But really, I cannot stress enough, if you're not using AI in your investing, you are purely missing out. It can help to reduce the time that you spend researching tokens, researching addresses, massively down, and it can really deliver alpha to you on a silver platter. So I'm going to now share the first feature that I think is actually one of our most powerful features that we have, which is the Nansen agent. The way that this works is it's like you can interface with Nansen's on-chain data via natural language directly in Telegram. So I'm going to share my Telegram now, and we can take a look at a few examples together of how I use this. So we've done many webinars so far looking through Nansen's dashboards, but I really think the future of investing is backed by AI. And let's take a look at a few examples together. I'm just going to share some pretty basic prompts, and James is going to dive a bit deeper into some more complex ones, and we're then going to share some of those with you if you leave your Telegram in the Luma. So how do I start my day? I start my day with a big cup of coffee and with Telegram in front of me, with the Nansen research agent in front of me. So what I do to often start my day is to ask Nansen what is interesting. What is happening on chain today? I am looking for some potential investment opportunities based on what other high P&L individuals or entities are buying that I might not be aware of. Now, when I query this Telegram bot, it's going to not only look at on-chain data, it's also going to start looking through other sources of information as well. That includes like Google searches and other things, but it's going to eventually include a lot more, such as like more centralized exchange related data, like sentiment data, Twitter data, so on and so on. So we're still just getting started here. You can expect that this is going to get much better. So let's take a look at what this came back with. The agent is commenting on that we have some smart money targets, immediate opportunities. And there's a token here that has actually captured my interest a little bit, which is Light. Many of you that are active on Twitter would have seen this quite a lot, but the token is still relatively new at 8 days old. at a market cap of 126 mil. So if you don't know really where to start your day or really where to start your research, interfacing with the agent here can just give you some of those light bulbs that's going to help you to know where you should start spending some of your time. So from here, what I then like to do is actually go back to Nansen and then search for light in Nansen to see what data may display. Otherwise, I can then say, hey, give me some more information on light. Let me show you some other prompts. So here, I'm wanting to understand what top public figures are buying today. So this is really what people love to use Nansen for. They want to see what Murad are buying in real time. They want to see what Ansem are buying in real time, because we have all of these public figures labeled. We have really, really strong coverage across a number of different chains. And if you say, well, which public figures have been making a lot of money lately in P&L and what are they buying? It can give you a bit of an idea on where you might want to look as well, like roundtripalot.sol. It looks like they're buying a whole bunch of different tokens today, some larger amounts, some smaller amounts. We have a Dutch crypto investors fund, which is a verified institutional fund that are just buying some very small positions here. But here are some other addresses that could be interesting as well. You could spend a lot of time in Nansen digging around trying to surface a lot of this, or you can just ask the research agent yourself. Another example prompt, what are some top addresses that I should look to set smart alerts on? So a lot of Nansen users love the smart alerts feature, which allows you to get notifications based on on-chain activity sent directly to your Telegram, Discord, or Slack. So if you're on the go and you are notified that Murad has just dropped $2 million into a new meme coin, you can be one of the first in the entire crypto space to know. So we'll cover smart alerts in a bit, but here we have some top addresses that the agent is displaying that I might choose to then set some alerts on. So where I really love this research agent feature is when you then use it with other features within Nansen to, again, really help you to become a better trader or investor. Another prompt, I'll pass it over to James in a moment, but what tokens are looking hot today? Anything you'd suggest that I look into buying? You can really ask it whatever you want. And the last prompt I'll show you is, many of you might be familiar with Y22. He is actually, like, I've met this guy a number of times in person. He's a real legend. And he is very, very transparent about his trading journey. And he completed a 1 mil trading challenge at the start of the cycle. And now he's doing a $500K to $5 million challenge. And he's making some good progress, as we can see with this progress bar here. But he trades everything completely transparently. So I could go into Nansen, search Y22 and see exactly what he's buying and selling in real time. Or I can just ask the agent, can you share a bit more about the trading strategy of Y22.sol? He's a discretionary trader on Solana. Here we can see a number of his holdings, his portfolio snapshot. We can see his realized P&L. And what's quite interesting is that he has quite a big position in Light, which is that token that the agent originally displayed as something that might be worth looking into. So when you can sort of bridge the gap between what you might see on Twitter or some of these Telegram groups, ask the agent, it delivers that alpha directly to you. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to pass the baton over to James, who is going to share a little bit more of his prompts. But I hope this has been interesting so far. We are still very, very early in some of Nansen's features, so excited to show you some more. James should be popping up any second. There he is.
Hey, Charlie. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think you touch on some key points as well. I like your, kind of, to quote you, just ask the agent. It's something that I also recommend to everyone. I've been able to ask it some kind of strange questions that I didn't think I'd get a solid response to, and I was able to come up with a pretty good response, all related to crypto, of course. But I think just ask the Nansen agent is going to become a saying that we're going to be using quite often. So what I would like to show with the research agent is I would like to try and get a concept across to you. And that's something Charlie touched on as well. Whatever way there are many different ways you can approach the agent. We now have this single interface that can take us in many different directions. And that is sort of the power of LLMs. So I'm going to share my screen and show some prompts, just some basic prompts to start off, and then we'll go into a much more advanced prompt. So Charlie, can you let me know, can you see this?
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. Okay, so
You got
agent.
the dark mode on. I'm a light mode kind of guy.
No, personally, I think that's crazy.
I think you called me a psychopath when you learned that my Discord was in light mode as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think dark mode all the way here, Charlie. But now, looking at the research agent, there are many different ways you can approach it. So you can use it for token discovery and screening. Here's a very simple prompt where I'm asking it for low cap to mid cap tokens. So I'm looking for find tokens under $100 million market cap that smart traders have been accumulating, and it can give me a number of different suggestions. And the idea here is that this can be somewhere that you can start your screening process for tokens that you might be interested in. However, if you wanted to take a completely different direction, you could then focus on smart money momentum tracking. So show me which tokens the top 50 most profitable traders are buying right now versus what they were buying 7 days ago. Include their average entry prices and current P&L. And now we can see who are the top 50, what the top 50 traders are buying. If we move on to our next prompt, we can analyze institutional flows. So hopefully you're beginning to see you can get really specific about what you want. You no longer have to spend that time on Nansen searching through yourself. This is something that applies to institutional level traders, or this could be something that applies to people that are deep in the trenches looking for low cap plays. Another angle that you can take is to do holder analysis. Again, this is something that can aid your investment theses. We can analyze Pepe holder distribution, recent trading activity, and exchange flows over the last 7 days, include top holder movements, P&L analysis of major traders, and any concerning distribution patterns. And this is the kind of output we get here. We can see exchange flow dynamics. The agent has seen this as the deposits as bearish signals, while we have some bullish signals coming through the withdrawals. Over the last 7 days, though, we have a total net outflow from exchanges. So this actually ends up being bullish. And it's quite nice to be able to see that the agent can make these deductions itself. Okay, you might have noticed that I was missing a single prompt in here, and I want to share a prompt live and again show you how vastly different you can approach the agent. So what we're going to do is give it an address and ask it to find all related wallets that are likely belonging to the same entity. So I'm just going to pick an address off the Smart Money dashboard. If we take a look here, we can see POW. POW is pretty well known. I think I've tried it on POW before and I didn't get any results. Let me try this on Beeves, at Beeves on Farcaster, who has a realized P&L of about 1 million over the last 30 days. So we can just stick this address into the prompt, and now we can just watch what the agent gives us out. So again, if we go back to, you can really take many different approaches to the agent. You can ask it for, basically what we're doing here is cluster analysis. Does this wallet have any other related addresses? We can ask it for institutional flows and institutional analysis, something where we're probably looking for more blue chip long-term plays. or we could ask it for tokens that are under $100 million market cap. This could be something that's more suited to people that are into degen trading. The whole idea I'm trying to get across to you here is that this agent really has a vast amount of capability. It can go in any direction that you want it to or you need it to. I've even heard of some people asking it to do some kind of tax reports. Now, while we can't, verify these as official tax reports, it's definitely something worth exploring. Basically, what I would encourage you to do is ask it any crypto-related question, because as well, it doesn't just have on-chain analysis, it has some off-chain analysis. It can search the web, it has access to some social media data, and all this put together, as we combine the off-chain world with the on-chain world, gives you a very powerful agent. Another thing, as I'm kind of watching these, outputs come out here, I'm watching the agent think. We're kind of getting to see inside its brain. All I think every time I'm looking at this is, thank God I don't have to go through all this work. This has saved me a huge amount of time. I get to sit here, I get to chat to you, I get to explain to you a bit more about the agent itself. Hopefully we will have a response shortly. It is quite in depth. That's another thing I will give it. If it cannot initially get an analysis complete for you, it will try many different avenues to try and complete its task. It's not very limited. I think you might have seen at the beginning it has at least 25 on-chain tools and about 3 or 4 off-chain tools that it has at its disposal that it can use to carry out tasks that you set it.
James, just while that's loading, I also thought it'd be worth explaining just how the Nansen agent is quite different from other LLMs that might be accessible. So for something like ChatGPT or Claude, for example, they have a little bit of coverage. You could ask like what a token might be about, but it's really very generic and it misses a lot of context around what is actually happening on chain. You couldn't so easily plug in an address and say, who do you think is behind this address? What is their activity? Because it's not going to have the capability to then look on chain, digest what's happening, and then create this nice, easy to read summary report that you can actually then invest on the back of. So I think that's really the critical component here, is that you can plug in an address or something into ChatGPT and it's going to give you like 1% of really what you want. And if you're looking to make investment decisions, especially large investment decisions, it's critical that you have the clear, like the full picture of everything, right? And you're just not going to get that with an LLM like ChatGPT or Claude because it's not specialized or it's not trained on crypto investing data, where Nansen really, really is. So that's the edge that this agent can really give you. Yeah, just thought I'd chime in there while this was loading, because this alpha is just insane compared to what else you can find in the market.
Absolutely. And here we have a result. And don't forget, so I gave it one address. I gave it this very simple prompt, and it was able to come out with a number of potential secondary wallets. And it even, without me even asking, gave a confidence score. So let's say we see this wallet here has a confidence score of 70%. If we look at some of the reasoning it uses, it's quite good at deduction in terms of using on-chain events to deduct, is this actually related to the wallet that we are investigating? We see here a shared Coinbase deposit address. And for anyone that has spent time sleuthing on-chain, you know one of the first things you go to are shared CEX deposit addresses. It's, did anyone else use it? Could they be related to the wallet I'm investigating? So I think it's very impressive, and I would highly encourage you to give it a go. Of course, with 70% confidence, we can't, say for certain, but it is then up to us to maybe do a bit further digging, or potentially even ask the agent to do further digging, suggest to it what the next steps are. So Whether you're doing clustering analysis, whether you are analyzing institutional flows, whether you are degenerating, this agent has something for you. Now, one thing we did mention was that these are kind of all simple inputs. I would like to show you what you can get out of a more advanced input, something that's maybe more of a template. And this is the last thing I'll show you before I pass it back to Charlie. So here is an example of a template I have created. And this template is to analyze smart money and fund flows over the last 7 days and format the response exactly as follows. And the reason I want the response exactly as follows is that then I can come back to this every single day or every single week, and I can reuse it, and it actually becomes part of my workflow. It's almost like having an intern there. It's like, this is the information I need you to go and do it. Go and check Nansen. Usually in the past, we would have had to pay someone to do that, to go through all the on-chain data. Now that's no longer needed. You just give this to the agent and it can do it for you. So if you like particularly this prompt and you'd like to be able to use it, make sure you leave your Telegram and we will be able to give it to you. This way you can keep up to date on what smart money and institutional traders are doing every single week at just the click of a button. All right, Charlie, I'll pass it back over to you.
Thank you, James. I love what you said there around like this is like an intern in a way, except you can be a lot more demanding. You can drop the pleases and the thank yous and all the other fluff. I read in an article recently that apparently ChatGPT is spending like $10 million a year from people just saying please and thank you so much to the LLM, which I just thought was hilarious. But yeah, you're exactly right. Like it's like you have like an investing assistant here with this research agent, and we haven't even really gotten into some of the other functionality that Nansen offers in the AI sort of realm, and excited to get a bit more into that. But I just wanted to share my screen and just look at something else. Just give a quick reminder to register for this event. We have a Luma link, which we're going to drop in the chat. All you have to do is click on the register button and submit your Telegram here. What this is going to do is put you in the draw to win a 3-month professional plan, which is worth about $3,000, which is going to give you complete access to everything that we cover today. Also, we're actually going to share some of the prompts that James and I have been inputting into the research agent directly with you in Telegram. So you're going to be able to get a head start on using this agent. Also, we will have a quick QR code that is going to display up the top left in one of the corners. So all you have to do is scan this code and you'll be able to get 10% off any paid plan. Otherwise, you can just submit the code AI10OFF. This applies to Pioneer Plan, Professional Plan, monthly, 6 monthly, 12 monthly options. It will expire at the end of the week, though, so make sure you get in quick. Scan the code, and you'll be able to access this research agent currently on the professional plan. We will be looking to open this up to a wider user base over the sort of coming month-ish plus. But if you jump on board now, you'll be able to still get your hands into all the other AI features that we're going to cover in a moment. To move on from here, I just wanted to touch a little bit on the MCP. So the MCP is like really another game changer, I think, in the way that users will interface with Nansen. So the MCP is like, you can really consider it to be quite similar to the research agent that we've been looking at in Telegram. However, what the MCP enables you to do is you can connect Nansen's data into your own systems or into your own projects that you might be building within crypto. So potentially you run a fund and you want to ingest a lot of Nansen's data with other data that you have at your fund. then you can connect to Nansen's MCP and query with natural language, just like we have been doing via like a Claude or Cursor or another MCP client or interface. So if you're building like a AI agent potentially that connects a whole bunch of different data sources, you can very easily connect to this MCP for your project and display and redistribute some of Nansen's data to your users. So you can basically now build on top of Nansen for your own projects and your own solutions, which I think is just really, really exciting. Okay, so James, I'm going to hand it back over to you. I know you wanted to share a little bit more about the smart alerts, which is one of Nansen's most favorite features, which, as I shared, is how you can get notified of certain transactions on chain that can be delivered directly to your Telegram, Discord, or Slack. So you can be one of the first to know in the market of interesting movements, which is really just completely upgraded to be AI powered. And I think it's really a game changer with a whole lot of new functionality. And it's now 10 times easier to set up alerts. So over to you. I know you're a smart alert power user yourself, so I'm excited to see what you have to share.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, first of all, before we get into maybe how to start using the AI powered smart alerts, one thing I'd like to give a shout out to is the team at Nansen have really upgraded the smart alert management system that we have here. Apologies for some Slack notifications coming in. If you're a Nansen user already, you will see that we have in the past not had a great way to manage our smart alerts. So if you wanted to either turn an alert off, if you wanted to find an alert that you'd set up, it was actually quite difficult, especially if you're a smart alert power user and you have 50 plus alerts set up. Now we have an easy way to find your alert by either its alert type. If we select here, I can see all my token transfer alerts and my smart money token flow alerts. Of course, if you're not a Nansen user, this won't make sense to you quite just yet. However, for those that are Nansen users, this I know is really useful. On top of it, you can see how many you have active, how many you have disabled, and you have a very easy way to turn alerts on and off just at the click of a button. And on top of that, you can delete it quite easily as well. In the past, we weren't able to search alerts by their name. This is also something that's become really useful, especially if you set an alert, 6 months ago and it's 2 or 3 pages away. Instead of looking for it, you can just type the name in here. And as well, you can then delete lots of different alerts at once, which I actually think is really important, especially if you're someone who's managing a lot of alerts at once. So that's just something I'd like to give a shout out to the team for. And I know a lot of the current Nansen users will be really happy with this change. Then for people that are looking in on Nansen and as well the current Nansen users, now we have to show the AI powered smart alerts. So what does this actually mean? Well, in the past, it's been very difficult to even set up a smart alert. You know what you want to track. However, you don't know how to set up an alert. If you go onto another platform, you then have to learn how to use that platform as well. But the way we thought about it at Nansen is we're now in an age where people want simplicity. They know what they want to track, but they don't want to have to learn all about how to use this platform and then maybe one day switch over to another platform. What they want is just to be able to type in somewhere, this is what I want to track. Now set up an alert for me. And again, it's almost like having an intern here that's going to do it for you. So it'll be much easier to understand once I show you what I mean. So let's say I know that I want to get an alert if there are large amounts of smart money flows within a 1 hour time period. So I can say set an alert every time there are large amounts of smart money flows in 1 hour. Now, The agent, the Smart Alert agent, specifically designed to create smart alerts on Nansen, sets off working. And while they're working, let me just explain what happens maybe if this didn't work. If this didn't work, you have a create manually button up here. And this allows you to still go in and learn how to use the Nansen platform itself. However, thankfully, as you can see here, the agent is rarely wrong. It usually gets things right. However, it is always best to double check. So what is it telling me here? I'll set up a smart alert, a smart money token flow alert for large hourly inflows of over $100,000. Based on your existing alerts, this will track when smart money shows significant buying activity. So this is even fascinating to me as well. They were able to create the agent so that it appears into your existing alert system, and it can use that as information to build your next alert. So this is really customizing the experience for you. Again, we go back to the idea of it's like having an intern by your side. Hey, go and create this for me. So what are we tracking? We see Nansen label, smart money. We see the chains, we're tracking all chains. The alert conditions. So what this actually means is that every hour we are going to calculate if there was over $100,000 of tokens moving into smart money wallets. And if there was, you receive an alert. However, we do have some additional filters. And if you notice, I didn't even decide to add this myself. I didn't specify this to the agent. I could have, but I didn't. And it says, we're excluding token sectors such as stablecoins, L1, L2 tokens, and derivatives. L1, L2 tokens and derivatives, and then native tokens and a couple of other things, such as LRTs and LSTs. And to me, this makes sense because if we're looking for inflows into smart money wallets, most likely what we're looking for are tokens that we could potentially trade. So this is the reason why the agent decided to do this as well. It looks at my alerts that I already have set up, and this is something that's very common for me to do. And I think this is what is quite impressive about the Smart Alert agent. It can understand the context on which, on the task that you are asking it to complete, and it can use that context to then make sure the alert is designed correctly. And then simply by creating the alert, I just press this green button and it's all done. It actually had the Discord webhook put in for me. This Discord webhook is something that I may need to change myself. However, it's pretty nice that I was able to register that I have some existing webhooks. So if I access here, we can see the large smart money hourly flows alert is right here, all done by the agent. And all I had to do was use one single prompt. So if you can see the value in this, just to recap what the value in this is, you no longer have to understand how alerts actually work and how to actually set them up. You just ask an agent to do so. Again, this is an AI first product, and it saves you a huge amount of time. And then if for some reason it doesn't work or your alert is too complicated, you can just create it manually up here. So you still have the option to do it yourself. So with that, I think I am going to pass it back to Charlie. Charlie will just be dropping in now. Hey, Charlie, how's things?
Yeah, good, James. If we just wanted to show on the smart alerts piece here, I think what can be quite tricky at times is to know like where should you even start if smart alerts are brand new to you. And Nansen has a whole bunch of these little prompts that you'll see here. We have 4 just displaying, but you should actually be able to scroll over to the right as well, James, or you can actually click on that prompt packs button if you, yeah. So here we go, like track public figures that trade more than 10K, or track any outflow from a SEX over 100 mil. You can easily click into any of these and it's going to automatically create this alert for you or pre-populate all this information in here. So this just gives you a bit of a starting point if you're not sure exactly what to search. And what's quite interesting, I believe that the MCP is actually integrated into this as well now. So you should be able to actually, like, it should be able to query some of the on-chain data as well and display some interesting information back to you. So very bullish on this. I think it just makes the Smart Alert setup process much, much easier. Yeah, exactly, like that ask anything down below there. So yeah, I think we also wanted to take a look at the deep research feature, James. I know deep research is one of like the other AI related features that we've introduced that has been getting a ton of usage, which uh, all of you will know, Nansen is like a wallet labeling solution, right? You can understand who is doing what on chain based on relying on Nansen's labels. But sometimes there might be more information that you're really looking for. So, James, do we want to bring up a few examples together? I know you have some on your side. I am also happy to share a few on my side. But did you have any up your sleeve to show?
Yes, absolutely. Um, First of all, I think one thing I will show is the deep research, let's say home tab. If you're looking under profiler, you'll see the section deep research. This is currently only for professionals, but this will allow you to see all deep research analyses that you have requested. Um, One thing I like in this most recent one, and this will be able to highlight some of the best benefits from deep research, is that I fell across this wallet. I saw there was a lot of inflows coming in, and I didn't actually know what it was for. So I came into Profiler and I clicked deep research. Again, we're sending an agent off to do the work. I can just sit back and relax, and it's able to tell me that this is actually a sex hot wallet. So in the past, I would have had to do some level of verification, check what is actually going on here, um, and see where are these flows coming from, where are they going to, and it sometimes may take only 5 minutes. Sometimes though it may take 30 minutes. But as you're meeting more and more of these wallets, that time it grows exponentially. So you're spending a huge amount of time tracking through wallets that you don't really know what they do, and you have to identify them yourself. And now you almost have like a companion by your side that can do it for you. Another great one I found was this. And the reason, again, I really like this is because one, it labeled a Coinbase Prime wallet, and it turned out to be a bridging wallet. And it gives really strong insights, like 79.6% of the wallet's transaction volume occurs with Coinbase Prime through both inflows and outflows, with Coinbase Prime serving as the first ETH funder of the wallet. So it's not like this is just guesswork. There's a lot of strong deduction that goes into this, and it also gives a confidence score. And again, another fantastic here is we are not just limited to off-chain data. We can search social media, we can search GitHub, we can do a lot of these different online searches to try and see, was this address mentioned anywhere? Has anyone claimed this address as their own? And again, it makes it much easier to deducing who owns the wallet.
Nice. Yeah, it's really, really helpful, right? Especially when you might find an address that might be like unlabeled, or you're not 100% sure if it's associated with an individual or an entity, or maybe you've just found an address on Twitter and people are speculating that it might be associated with a public figure. Like, take that address, plug it into Nansen, see what deep research says, and the alpha again is delivered directly to you. I might just take over quickly and just share a little bit on our last AI related feature, which is called Signals. And what Signals does is it surfaces extraordinary on chain activity and it delivers it directly to you in one nice feed here. You'll find it on the left side nav bar. And depending on the chain that you're looking on, you can maybe you're a Solana meme coiner, maybe you're more sort of into blue chips on Ethereum. So you can play around with the filters here, and you can also play around with the different signal types. So depending on your trading strategy, you might be looking for like smart money token flows to see, I want to track what smart money addresses are buying and therefore potentially follow in their footsteps. This is one of my favorite signals to use. And if I click on save, it's going to basically stare out into the whole token universe and deliver interesting signals to you based on like, where could you potentially spend your time? What could you look into? Not every signal is going to be this like as strong as the next, but it could be really worth doing like a scratch of due diligence to understand, like, is this potentially something interesting? Looks like smart money have sent about 112k of house in the last 24 hours, and the price has also gone down in the last 24 hours. So another really one that I love to look at is sex token flows. When there are massive sex inflows of a certain token, it's very likely that someone is then dumping that token, and could therefore be like a great short opportunity. So I wouldn't necessarily, like, the way I use this myself is I will do like 10 seconds of due diligence on every signal to try to understand, is this worth me looking into, before then moving on to the next one. Some of the things that I look at for this is the signal strength. Like if we see sex outflows with this high amount, potentially they know something that I don't know, and therefore I could then take a look at this token in token god mode. Or I could say, I could take the like contract address, plug it into the research agent, and ask for more information. So would highly encourage all of you to like bridge the gap between some of Nansen's existing features that are also powered by AI, and then plug it in with some of the newer stuff like the agent that we've taken a look at. So otherwise, just wanted to just share a few other bits and pieces. So just wanted to give a few shout outs and some highlights to some real GigaChads affiliates that are on Nansen's affiliate program that have been really creating a lot of solid content around the AI features and just on-chain content in general. If you want to like look behind the shoulders of some real Nansen experts, give these folks a follow. We'll drop their handles in the chat, and you'll be able to learn more from some of their content. Like this Being Invested, this guy, we can see a bunch of Nansen content being shared here. Real Chad, this guy who's just sharing so much interesting content. A few other shout outs also to 100x Darren, a base trencher. He loves to find low cap gems using Nansen and to then share those with his audience as well. We have Chian here, who is a data degen to decoding AI agents. So he's really in the trenches on the AI front, and is creating a whole bunch of interesting content with Nansen. Cryptor seems to be winning left and right. This guy is making so much money from Nansen. He found another, I believe it was 140% increase just yesterday. And it's really rewarding to see this guy pinging us so often saying like, hey, I just made more money using Nansen. And lastly, On-Chain Lens here. On-Chain Lens joins Nansen's affiliate program with 46 followers. We've helped him to grow to 25k followers in just the last sort of year-ish or so. He creates some really great content on what is happening on chain and delivers this directly to you. So there's tons of interesting alpha here. Make sure you follow all these guys, and I hope that you will also win just as much as they are. Make sure again that you register for this event. Drop your Telegram in here, and you can go in the draw to win one 3-month professional sub worth about $3,000. And also be sure to use the code that will display up in the top left, which is going to give you 10% off all paid plans, including Pioneer, Professional, and also monthly, 6-monthly, and 12-monthly options. So otherwise, we're going to just shift over to some Q&A. I see we've had a bunch of interesting questions come up in the chat. Some of them are going to display in just a moment. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in. Don't drop off just yet. I'm sure there's some very interesting questions that will pop up any second now.
So I might take this one, Charlie. Matthias, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. This is the first webinar I'm joining. Where can I see the old one? So if you go to our YouTube channel, there is a section on our channel called either streams or live. And basically it has all of our past webinars up until this one right here from 1 to 9. Now, to be honest, the platform has changed a lot over the time. So I would recommend actually working backwards on them, because some of the earlier ones, they're probably missing a lot of our latest and best features. But definitely check them out. They're very good. Thanks for joining us.
And the next question should pop up. This is not available on the Pioneer version, right? I think this question was asked when we were showing the research agent. At the moment, it's exclusive to professional users. Professional users get early access to all new features that come to Nansen. So many of them have been winning before everyone else by having professional access on these AI features that we've shown today. So we are looking at opening this up, though, to Pioneer users as well. So stay tuned on our socials, join our Discord community as well, and you can keep an eye out for when you'll be able to get your hands on this agent. Otherwise, you can jump on to professional right now and immediately get access. But at the moment, it's not available to Pioneer, but will be coming.
So, Matthias, again, I saw some smart money accumulating Wire weeks ago at 500K market cap. Today, it just reached $10 million market cap. Congratulations, Matteo. I hope you got a win in there. If you want, make sure you put your Telegram into the Luma link. And, I can get your Telegram. I will send the agent a prompt about Wire, and then I'll deliver it into your Telegram inbox. If you'd like, I'd be happy to do that. Hopefully you can keep winning and find more tokens like this. Make sure you put your Telegram in the Luma link.
Nice. Yeah, we see so many examples of that, right? So many people telling us it's like, oh, I made all this money on this token, or it's like, I saw this interesting alpha, I faded it, and then they're kicking themselves for not jumping on it. But yeah, it just goes to show the power of Nansen and some of these AI features. But can we get an example prompt of who bought or sold a token within a specific candle? James, I'm sure we can spin something up for Omelade here that we can then blast out in the round of messages that we'll send out in Telegram. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you drop your Telegram handle in, and we will be sure to include this for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe this was the last question.
Yes, I think we're finally coming to the last question. Am I the only one who has lost the link to Discord in the account settings? Maricela, I'm not 100% sure what has happened here, but if you reach out to support via our Discord, we'll make sure to help you get that sorted out ASAP. One thing I would say beforehand, just double check, see if you're able to reconnect it again yourself. If not, reach out to our support and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. You'll find support in the Nansen Discord.
Nice. Last thing I'll say before we wrap up, make sure you activate your Nansen points. We are coming into season 2 in just over a month. And if you do not activate your points that you've accrued by having subscriptions, by staking with us, or by referring others, you will lose those points going into season 2. And you'll be kicking yourself as we continue to add more and more rewards from season 2 and beyond. So make sure you do that. If you know other people that are staking with Nansen or have had subscriptions to Nansen in the past, make sure you tell them to activate their points as well, because they will be pretty upset when they realize that they missed out if they didn't just click the big green button. So you can do that from within the Nansen app. Otherwise, I hope this has been a helpful session for you. We run these sessions monthly. If you are interested in what you saw today, make sure you scan the QR codes up the top left to get 10% off any paid plan. And I hope that you're all leveled up a bit more on the AI front to help you become a better crypto investor. But with that, we thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next month. Be sure to drop your GNs in the chat. And thank you again for joining us.
Thank you very much, everyone. And thanks to you too, Charlie.
Thank you, James. We've got a Peak Mail Performance jerseys on, Zips jersey.